And hello and welcome everyone to another Iceberg interactive Twitch stream. Today we will be continuing our multiplayer series of Oriental Empires. So we're here in the lobby, we got 5 people joining us. We'll be continuing our previous game. Tyburn's taking over from Sanvon, we got Vaka taking over from CTSS, and we have Moonsugar still rocking Chin, and Dr. Beekman rocking Shang. So this will probably be quite an interesting game. We are approaching turn 100 and it looks like we are ready to go. In the meantime, if you have any questions or comments, please drop them in the chat. Don't forget to follow us and let's go. So first we're gonna get our bearings. Unfortunately I wasn't able to join last week, so the lead designer of the game, Neutron, played a little bit for me. Luckily he is a fairly good player, so I think I'm probably in as strong a position as I was initially. Alright, so let's zoom out a bit, let's get our bearings. So here we are, let's check if everyone here. We are currently situated right here. We are pretty strong, I think. We got plenty of cities. And to our north we are at conflict with the Hun. And the Hun is being taken over by Vaka, and they just suffered a rebellion, so that is rather painful. Over here we got Chu, which used to be played by Famabel, who is not here at the moment. We might be able to take advantage of that. They have been our long ally of some sorts after some initial conflict over the town of Equalar Mordor, Middle-earth at the time. Let's have a quick look at the diplomacy screen. So we are at war with the Hun, with the Shang, and with the Red Eyebrow rebels. We are allied with Ba. Ba is doing pretty well, pretty solid. I don't think they've fought many wars and they have expanded themselves quite well, though they look a tiny bit vulnerable because their lines are fairly thin. They're really spread out. The same goes for Chin right here. But that makes them quite an interesting faction to interact with, and also important buffer states. So we'll see what happens. So we're at war over here with the Shang. And but I don't want to fight an all-out war with them. The terrain is bad to march through, and overall, you know, they're quite far away. We don't have really territorial disputes. I mean, they will clearly want to remain on their end of the mountains and the waters, and I will remain on mine. The only potential flashpoint here could be the town of Nanwu, but even that is pretty far away from the Shang town. So let's have a quick look then. Let's first propose a peace treaty here. Because, well, do we want to? Yes, let's do that. I don't think I want to continue my war here. They are suffering enough. Rather, I would focus on an army and try and grab some of that fancy Chu land. So let's see if we can do that. For that, I need to get an army going. So let's start with that. And I will need plenty of archers to break through their walls. So what I will do is I will make south. I will make some of these stacks, and they will have plenty of archers. And the advantage of having plenty of archers here is, of course, that they will break down the walls quickly, and then your heavy infantry will march in and and try and take the towns proper. So we're going to have them march to Chuland, and they're going to march through our own land for the great majority of the time, so no one else should notice them. Let's see. Oh, sorry about that. So in the meantime, guys, if you have any questions for me about the game, please drop them here. If you have any comments about the stream, sound quality, etc., I would love to hear that as well. We have a fairly solid economy. So, we should be alright. So I'm telling the Han right now, I'm willing to propose peace if they stop invading the Chu faction. Originally we're there to defend them. Alright, let's have a look. Alright, let's propose peace. We're gonna propose peace to Han. And we're gonna propose peace to Shang. There we go. That should give us some breathing room to take the fight somewhere else. Let's see, where did these are recruited? Oh, we have some knowledge progress as well. We have loot from Yangchang. We need to select a new technology. And this is good. This one, mathematics, will allow us actually to get an increased development rate. So that's a good one to start with right now, as it will speed up all the other technologies with about 15%. So that's nice to have. We constructed some buildings, which is nice. I do need to check though. When Neutron took over, he apparently constructed a few more buildings to get some professional soldiers going. I'd like to know where that was. He might have used Ardenet for that. No, he did not. Well, we can check on that later. I think this is a good start. Did he use Guzu? No, he didn't. Let's just hit end turn for now. All cities seem to be occupied, which is fine. So, first things we're gonna do is make peace. Of course, if you guys have any ideas on what we should be doing, please let me know. And we're going to be waiting for other players. We will be able to continue to talk to others. as and I'm discussing with the Hun player to try and take on Ba together once the Hun has quelled the rebellion. So that will be interesting. And so guys, we are testing the multiplayer here. It is not fully finished, so we might see some issues, some bugs. The game itself is still in early access. If you want to learn more about that, click the banner below and it will take you right to the Steam product page, or drop by on the Steam forums. But we're trying just to test the game, test the functionalities, and see how well it works. And so far, especially diplomacy has proven to be very, very interesting. So we are waiting for the let's look for Tyburn here. Let's wish him good luck. So that will be interesting. Let's have a look here. What are people saying? And we got end turn, so we got plenty of battles going on all over the map, mostly involving us versus Hun, and we're taking some of their armies. Though, having said that, we did propose a peace treaty, so we will see how that turns out. It looks like we are killing them, though, and we're fighting here as well. We will continue to loot, basically, until we get their peace treaty. So let's speed it up. There we go. We won the combat against Hun, but we did lose a fairly significant amount of troops, I think. Nothing to really worry about, though. Let's have a look. The Ba is offering information about enemies, or wants us to offer it. We're not going to give it to them. Hun is offering us to make peace. Well, yeah, we offer them the same. Let's just accept for good measure in case they reject ours. We lost 2 of our scouting parties, which is okay. I don't mind that. I'm gonna retreat my troops, though. Just letting Hun know that I am accepting, and I'm gonna pull back my forces. Let's see how else we're doing. So Miley is building. What's Miley building here? Miley is building plenty of stuff. Let's have a look. Nothing in the queue here, but they are building improvements, namely the Jade Quarry, and that is probably why my previous player Neutron set up this trade network to get the Jade Quarry going. That's very, very clever. We need to finish the road here as well, by the way. So let's have a look. What else should we be doing? Yanling can be upgraded. It's a big city. It's a bit isolated, but no reason not to upgrade it when we can afford it. It will allow it to grow plenty further. And let's see. Equaler Mortar is doing pretty well, and is already been upgraded. So there's no problem there. We did extend our border up until here, which is nice. And we are getting, we are trading with Equalist Mortar. Erdenet is building roads. It's not doing much else, to be honest. It's a small town I have here, and the reason is it's in the desert. I cannot farm here, and since I am reliant on farms, there is very little we can do to actually make the economy grow. So, however, a road network has been set up, which is interesting in itself. Now the main question is, where did Neutron... Ah, here they are. Here he purchased the barracks and let me train some professionals. Let's train a couple more of the army halberds. They will scare our allies and our enemies. Let's see. All right. And I think that's it for now. Our cities are doing pretty well. The ones that can grow are growing, except for Miley, which I could do some more farming. And I should probably clear some forests, just to allow me to keep growing there. And I think that's it for this turn. We are going to move our troops over here to Hogwarts. And we have still the army here. I think we're going to send it south. We're not going to declare war yet. But I want to do a pincer movement against Chu and finish them off. That should give me the base, or at least puppet them, I guess. That might be more worthwhile. Like, take Hogwarts and take Equalist Mortar. Or even just Hogwarts, and I could puppet them. Let's have a look. They're much weaker. Let's ask them to become our vassal. We'll pay them a little bit for it. That would save us some money. Give settlement Erdenet. Okay, no, we'll take it by force then. And having said that, we're gonna hit end turn, I guess. I'm gonna have my army return to Nanbu. Nanbu is still farming, right? Yes. And now we can see only one battle since the peace treaties have gone into effect. And both offers have been accepted. Our armies are suffering from sickness though. That is unfortunate. Still, I'm gonna send them on. That's one of the reasons why it's so hard to attack people, is because of the army sickness. And have a look. Let's have a look. So I'm threatening Han for war if he does not remove his stack here, saying I have no issue continuing the war if he doesn't. So either he removes them and saves himself a bit of money by not having to pay troops all the way there while his own land is suffering from rebellion, or he could let's actually merge these armies. Send you back. You can remain here. And let's see, we recruited a couple of extras of these. I don't want to go into Beekman Land too far. I do want to scout more here. Alright, so what will happen next? We're waiting still for Han, Shang, and Changyu to finish their turns. All right. Let's see if we can speed things up a bit. More wars are going on. The stack has been disbanded by Han. This is what good diplomacy is, guys. Just force people to do what you want them to do. I remember at the time I was there was a big Shang stack here, and I said, "Okay, you're gonna let my settlers pass to settle here at Nanwu." And he said, "What's in it for me?" Basically, not being attacked, and he agreed with that. Let's have a look. Offers, attack Qin. No, we're not gonna do that, Chao. Attack Qin. No, we're not gonna do that. No, we're not gonna attack them. Fraternal Harmony Pact with the White Die. Sure, if you have information about enemies, I'm more than happy to get to know some of that. More sickness. Wow, this is getting a bit of an overkill. Let's see, Iron Foundry, that will do nice. Let's continue scouting. Are we still producing enough farms? It looks like we are. Who is not? Why are you no longer producing farms? Keep growing, Wu. Keep up. Best mortar can further extend its borders, which is always a good thing. It's also building a road network to align to the Karakoram road network. We should start building a road network here as well. Let's see. I think that's it for now. Our armies are still on the move. Now we're going to declare war on the Chu. What we want is a quick war. We want to do them some significant damage, and after make them our vassals. Basically, that's going to be our aim for the day. Meanwhile, people are whispering to me. What are they saying? Oops, no, I don't want to kick player. Alright, so we got the battle between Shang and Yu, the Battle of Qin, or Qian, and we got battles against Shu going on. And apparently Shu has got a huge stack there that I did not know was there. Where did that come from? That is not good. So we did not take the city. How is that? They have 2 stacks there? They recruited a fair number of troops that very turn I was attacking. Look at that, they just recruited a huge army. They have sent a proposal to me to make peace. Alright, that's interesting. Let's make peace. You become our vassal. We pay 2,000. And... no, we're not going to do that. Qin has accepted. We're gonna give Kin some money to defend itself. And my army also suffered from sickness. This is pretty extreme. We're suffering from all kinds of illnesses. Let's put some extra pressure. I guess I was a bit too rash with my war declaration, or one turn too late, depending how you look at it. Had I been one turn earlier, we would have done much better. For now, though, I'm going to stop the attack and I'm going to loot, as the stack needs rest. And we're gonna send our armies back. There we go. Meanwhile, here we should continue getting a good army going, as it is a border province. We should try and keep growing all our cities. At least the ones that actually can grow. Yanling can continue to grow a fair bit. And it's brilliant to see such a large city without a wall. It's so isolated. I think very few other factions actually know it's there. Alright, so we're gonna stop the attack on Hogwarts, and we're gonna try and go to the other cities and wreak havoc there, while our main armies are coming up later. Do we have some edicts yet to do? Gentlemen ride chariots? Not really. Other than that, we're doing pretty darn well. So let's see. What else do we have here? We are talking about dividing up Alright, we are waiting for Dr. Beekman and Tyburn. And Tybird says that the war against Dr. Beekman is about to start. And we are waiting for Tyburn here. Let's see, we got another battle versus Chu right over here on the plains. We got a very nice force over here, by the way. We got a second battle going on where we are outnumbered. The Chu made a sally with a small token force. We are chasing off and we're breaking more of their walls, but we are losing men doing it, so it's not that great a trade. And the Chu is rapidly growing bigger armies, as we can see here, here, and here. So it's not going to be as easy a fight as I thought it would be, which always makes for a more interesting game, to be honest. And Han is trying to take back Yangdi, but is struggling, suffering many casualties. Alright, let's see if we can recruit more troops. Not here. Perhaps closer to the action. Equaler mortar. We're gonna recruit a full stack. And we're gonna build here something to allow us to build archers. And the reason for that is that it will be much easier to resupply my army. Alright, let's continue. Should we build a wall here? We probably should, because I don't really trust Dr. Beekman. I am also gonna set one of the guys to scout though. Let's see if Chu is up for peace yet. They are much weaker. Ah, they don't even want peace at the moment. Alright, their loss. And the rebels we cannot talk with. Jin is allied with Shang. Shao is allied with Chang Yu. Enemies with the white dye. There we go. Gonna keep recruiting units, some professional troops, even though they are far away from the front line. And we're gonna try and see if we can get something to work out. And we're waiting for pretty much everyone here. We are getting in late game, so it is a bit of a waiting game, but that also means that the game is getting quite more interesting diplomacy-wise. So I did not really... I should have waited a bit more before invading Chu and really take them by storm and then force a peace treaty. Now they are determined to fight, which means they will be drawn out longer. The good news is that nobody really is able to help them. So as long as I keep my border secure, I should be fine, should be able to take it slowly. I don't want to take them completely, ideally just one town, and for the rest vassalize them. I think that would be best. We're waiting for Tyburn here. He was taken over from Sanvon, who did the initial playthrough and was very successful at it. He really made it one of the strongest factions out there. Of course, being the strongest in a multiplayer game also means that you might become a target, which happened to Dr. Beekman earlier, who is still in a pretty good position, but his allies have been weakened a fair bit. He took dominance over the AI factions close to him really well, and that made him a significant player. And the like a true stepper faction, the Chongyu, they really under Sanvon, they really expanded rapidly. They have the most cities, and they are coming down with their hordes. So it's a delicate balance of power now between Dr. Beekman, Shang, and Xiong Yu under Tyburn, and it will be interesting to see who wins. And in between that is the smaller but still significant clan of the Qin, and they are both trying to get Qin, you know, to join their side and attack the other. And Qin is trying to get the best deal out of it. So that is interesting. And meanwhile, Han is having internal issues. Let's see how he is doing. There was Unrest. CTSS, basically, who played Han before Vaka did that, was really determined on attacking Chu, and they fought a long war, and many people died without actually something happening. I don't think territory was ever exchanged between them. So, and it proved futile, and in the end, under the pressure of the who were first being played by me and then last week by Neutron, they collapsed, basically, Han, and that allowed Han to no longer influence things going south. So we have been funding Qin a little bit, with like 1,500 gold, and 500 before that, so over 2,000 now in the last couple of turns. And that the idea is to have them their own army and to make it even tougher for the others to win Qin's support. So that will be interesting. So let's see, waiting for Tyburn here. Wow, that is a lot of combat in this multiplayer battle. Let's speed through it. Our armies here are going to continue to march, try and loot. And here Chu is marching south with their different stacks, while we have one stack ready to flank. We did beat another Chu force, however. Wow, so many battles being fought. That's insane. The Battle of Yangdi continuing. Han telling me that, you know, he was about to break the siege. They still have 6 peasant light spearmen and a peasant dagger axeman. That is a lot of troops, but they're all pretty much half strength, I think, judging by the size of the banner. So let's see. We got an ally request. Ba He wants us to declare war against the Zhao. I have no issue doing that. I don't really care. A single payment by Qin was accepted. So we paid that. We got a new technology, the heavy chariot. I'm not overly interested in this particular technology. I'm more interested in the siege works. Or should we go for the economy first? Let's do siege works first. We're going to continue to farm here. This is still farming. Equaler Mortar should continue to improve its farms. And so should Nanvu. Alright, so we are blocking Chu's trade, but we have to get out of there. Chu is sending a massive army, so I'm gonna make my retreat out of Chu country. Let's see. All good, I guess. Another disease outbreak. More war being fought. Ba and Shang. Shang and Xiongnu. Zhao and Ba. We're gonna make peace. Let's hit end turn. So the wars have started then, guys. Nick, hi, how you doing? Sorry for the late response there. Glad to have you on the stream. So this game looks very interesting. How much control do you have over the armies during combat? So let me go into detail again once I actually am in my turn. But you do not control them directly. You merely set the orders for your armies beforehand. So that's something to that there's a major difference, for example, with the Total War series or other games where you control your forces in real time. You don't do that here. You set your orders, you set your battle plan for each regiment you have, and then they will go and do that. So there is no real direct control. I hope that answers your question a bit. I can go into detail a bit further if you'd like. Once the end turn button has been hit on all sides. Right, cool. So more like Europa Universalis. Slightly, but you have a lot more influence over your armies. You can really set the battle plans in much more detail. So if you have a stack of like 8 units, you can tell one of the units to try and flank the enemy, tell your archers to harass them, while you tell your infantry to charge, for example. And you can make variations with that. You can have a second stack coming in and tell them to ambush the enemy. And if you combine those well, you will get fairly efficient killing machines with your armies that will be much better off than armies that just rush in the battle. So it is more refined, more combat focused than Europa Universalis is, which but you don't have the direct control during combat. It is pretty cool, Nick. Yes, it is. So be sure. I mean, I've done a couple of more streams about this. I also did like a tips and tricks thing. You can find them over on YouTube on the Iceberg Interactive channel. There's a lot more information there. There's a lot more information on the Steam page, where we really go into detail about different mechanics and ways to play. So be sure to check that out if you're interested in the game. It is still in early access, so there will be some minor changes, but at this point we can say that we are fairly close to release, so don't expect anything really major to change. Unfortunately, our army did get sucked into the siege combat, more or less. We took some casualties, but we mostly inflicted them. Meanwhile, the Chu are taking out our other stacks, where we blocked their land, and they have approached our land. Would you look at that? The Chu at our borders. It's been a long while since that. I think that was like turn 12 or 13 when that happened. And now 100 turns later or 90 turns later, it is happening again. Let's speed up here. I think people are waiting for me. So we got our asses kicked here. Let's close the chat. I'm having trouble addressing some of my stacks. Ba declared war, and will you honor the alliance? No, I will not, Ba. Let's see what happened here then. Our lands got pillaged. We have a bowyer though, so we can recruit a strong, capable army here. And I seem to have been struck on a bug, so that's interesting, as I cannot select my cities like this, but I can select them from here, so let's just do that. And there is a desync here. That might be an issue. Tyburn is resyncing. Everybody appears to be resyncing. Sorry about this, guys. This is a multiplayer beta, so we are testing it for this very reason. That's why I wasn't able to request my to recruit my troops yet. Give Erdenat, and they will. No, why would I do this, Bo? No. Army destroyed, lands pillaged. Let's recruit a stack right here. The East Gate. So we're going to recruit 4 archers and 2 infantrymen, and we're going to set the archers to harass the enemy cavalry while the infantry are holding their ground. Or just attacking them, I suppose. Try and take their cavalry. We got help on the way here anyway. So let's continue then. We're going to return here to try and really destroy this stack, and then we're going to move up with all of our stacks. Let's recruit another stack and get into on the assault. We cleared some forest here, that's good. Best mortar, we have some nice things as troops available. Actually, let's get this stack over here as well. It's taking so many turns to get somewhere though. My lands are big, so let's see, I think everything's rolling well. Let's hit end turn again. So, the whole army can be recruited in a single turn, and is recruitment depending upon demographics? Yes to both. Exactly. So that is true. Basically, it depends on the type of buildings you have. If you don't have barracks, for example, you won't be able to recruit professional troops. You'll be able to just recruit either nobles if you have like a palace or something, or just peasants or tribesmen if you are like a tribe nation, which is don't start out with farms but with herds. So if you're a herding nation, you have tribesmen. Otherwise, you have farmers to recruit, and once you get your military technology up, you can get start going to recruit stronger units with a lot more capabilities, better morale and organization especially. And that depends on the demographics, it depends on the buildings, and it depends on your technology. You need a bowyer to get archers going, you need an armor to upgrade your troops with armor, and the armor upgrades are actually visible on the models, which is a very nice touch by the designers of the game. So let's see. Cool. Yes. Exactly. So there is a screenshot of me somewhere on the Steam forums or the Steam community hub that shows like a wide variety of units. Especially late game, you get the first firearm units. You get units with rockets, and it becomes a lot more diverse than in the first 100 turns, where you're mostly dealing with spearmen and Alright, so sorry guys, we need to go out for a little bit. There is an issue with one of the players. His game is frozen, so we're gonna leave and re-host. So alright, so I'm gonna leave this game here. I'm actually gonna kill it for now, just to make sure it's all clean. So your screen is gonna turn black for a bit. Sorry about that. We're gonna restart it and we're gonna re-host. So yes, it is a fair bit more in-depth than many RTSs, the recruitment systems. There is quite a lot to it, and it also causes unrest to recruit people. People want to stay in their farms. Nobles prefer to stay in their palaces. So if you recruit too much of a specific type, and that particular group might come to rebel. So that's also something you want to keep aware of. The unrest levels you want to keep low. Okay, the first players are joining in. Ice Moonsugar playing Chin. We got Dr. Beekman coming back, playing Shang. Does unrest decrease over time? Yes, it does. Basically, it depends on the type of unrest. There are some factors that are caused that are like chronicle or that will remain, that are long term. But there are also event-based unrest. You know, seeing a comet or stuff like that. There is unrest based on recruitment. There's unrest based on forced labor. So if you keep your workers active throughout a long time, then they will become unrest. So you need to give them some spare time to tend to their own farms. Not having enough food will cause unrest, and they will cause unrest to different groups. So both the nobles and the peasants have different reasons to be upset with you, and they will trigger different types of revolts if there become too many issues. So we're waiting for one more player, I think. Waiting for Tyburn here. And also, if you get a noble revolt, for example, you will, your nobles might actually join their side. So will it decrease over time on its own? Yes, it can. So if you do let your populace do nothing and provide everything from food, etc., yes, it will decrease over time, but you can also issue edicts or laws that can influence the unrest levels, like more repression or land redistribution. You can set different... let's start the game again. You can of course send in a garrison to quell the unrest. Right, we got the allied. No, we're not going to declare war on Qin. What were we doing? So we were recruiting a force here to take on the enemy, and actually let's recruit infantry rather than archers at this point. No, we need more archers. 4 archers and 2 infantry. We're gonna send the archers to harass. So let me just zoom in here. Can cities defect to other players or factions? They can defect to rebels, to rebel factions, but not to other factions. So they will become rebels, and the rebels will slowly consolidate their gains. So we got our army here, and I'm gonna move them here to attack. I'm gonna set our archers to the harass battle plan. So we got here the list of battle plans. Our archers are going to be harassing the enemy while infantry will be attacking. So I want to do a little bit of damage, wear them out, hit their horses while we attack. And also, of course, our second stack is coming in to help, and we're going to send this stack down from to the south again. Gusu is getting ready to be upgraded again. We're gonna wait a little bit, but we will do it at some point because a bigger Gusu is happy news for everyone involved. This army we are gonna send back here. We're gonna push for the south mainly. I want to keep a stack here at the north to make sure that Han doesn't come in and join again. Han has already almost taken Yangdi though, that's quite nice. We still have some stacks here, but I am going to send them back. And I think that's it for now. Let's see if everyone here. It would be a very interesting idea, Nick, if there is like, you know, if you have a neighbor that's very good to the nobles. That could to have people going from one city to another. That could be very interesting. I quite like that idea. It's having said that, it's too significant change to get in there before the full release. Though for after release, it might very well be possible. We're also looking, you know, making this game for with long-term support in mind. This base to be expanded upon by various modules or free updates or DLC or whichever form it might exactly take. So that's very interesting, Nick. Thank you for that suggestion. So at the moment, for example, it is possible if you have a peasant revolt, say, in one of your cities, and you then send an army of peasants to attack them, that there is a good likelihood that that army of peasants will defect to the enemy side. So you would need to send the nobles in to oppress the peasants, and the peasants to oppress the nobles, especially the latter. The peasants like to do, of course. And that's why you want to get to the, especially if you're dealing with Unrest, to have professional armies, because the professionals will stay with you no matter what. They don't care if they, you know, kill the peasants or the nobles, as long as they're getting paid. Because of these mechanics, though, in combination with the labor mechanic that causes unrest for too much forced labor, there is a bit of a learning curve to the game, so you want to take that into account. Many people play the first time get succumbed by the various revolts and rebellions that occur. Alright, so we're waiting here, and then again China, exactly, that's the history. So the thing about this game is that it tries to, we're playing a custom game here, which is a random map, but you can play on the, if you do the grand campaign, you'll play on the historical map of China, and you'll play from 1500 BC to around 1500 AD, so it's a very long period. So what you won't see is all the historical characters, because they would only be alive for, you know, a couple of turns, 3 or 4 turns. But what you do have, you have the flow of history. So you got rebellions, you got dynasty, you know, wars of succession. You get the slow development of China as a civilization. So, you know, you start off with small towns, tribes, and they grow out to these huge cities, much more formal armies, standing armies, rather than recruited armies or levied peasants. And you get this flow, and then on top of that, you get the increased trade, you get river transports, and later on, you get like your full modern, well, modern not, but missile and firearm technologies. And all of this combines creates a very natural flow to the game, if you will. And that really makes the early game significantly different from the late game. Especially in early game, you will be raiding a lot. You will be going to each other's farms, looting it for a bit of extra crops and cash. And those are your early game strategies. Whereas late game, you're marching fully fledged armies with massive siege engines to take enemies, walled cities. And not just wooden walls, but proper stone walls, high walls. Of course, Chinese love to build walls, as you well know. I'm happy you're interested, Nick. I would invite you to have a look at the store page and see some more playthroughs, perhaps ask some questions on the forums. Neutron, the game's lead designer, is very active on there, so you can ask questions to the designer directly, which is a very good opportunity to learn more of the game and to see if you like the design philosophy behind it. We are still on early access, so if you don't like that, you can of course wait until we go into full release pretty soon. So if that's not your cup of tea, you're free to wait. What we're doing now is actually testing more than playing. Yeah, let's zoom in on one of the cities, actually. I can do that real quick. So this is one of my bigger cities at the moment, though it's not the biggest. I don't have that many buildings there anyway. If you build palaces and such, like I have here, for example, you will be seeing that they are represented on the map as well. And they will become more impressive as time continues, as you will get temples, you will get furnaces, so you will get smoke from the cities. Let's see, they want Ernet. No, Ba, we're not gonna give you that. Attack Ba, no. We got thought process, we got battle reports. We won the battle for Equal Mortar, and I think we're in a good position to continue to push now. We're not gonna yet go on the actual attack offensive. But we're going to position our troops, and then in the next couple of turns we're going to attack them. They have a strong defense here, but they are relatively weak units. So in a couple of turns I should be able to take them out, or at least deal them a significant amount of damage. Meanwhile, we're going to hold them hostage here, so they cannot cross the river. So yeah, try and close them off on one end and try and take them from the other way, and hopefully they will make peace before that. In the end, our aim is not to conquer all of them, because that might cause more issues for our internal stability, but to vassalize them. So that's an interesting mechanic that I haven't mentioned today, is the authority mechanic. So authority is the number you see displayed right here. I have 18 authority at the moment. And authority is a soft limit on the amount of cities you can control at any one point. If you have more cities than authority, your leaders, basically your nobles, will feel that they have free reins on some things. You are not as close to the government as you could be otherwise of these provinces. So that might cause unrest among nobles in some provinces, and it might cause them to revolt eventually. So you should take your authority into account, and especially losing leaders, like your faction leader or his heir, causes a significant authority drop and could cause a war of succession. And I think that's all I wanted to do for now. Let's hit end turn again. Technology warning. Let's see, increases authority by 1 and allows us to build a court, which is nice, but we could also go for the civil service examinations and the Confucian Temple. So it allows us a new construction, researching Confucianism, but it also allows us several new edicts, or at least one of them, civil service examinations. And edicts are these laws that you can pass. You can pass the Edict of Self-Criticism. Cancel unrest due to disasters. We're not going to do that, I think. Grand Commandant, enlist a she. No, I don't think there's anything we want to enlist right now. Let's see how we're doing on toward the victory conditions. It appears like we are leading at the moment. Victory, we are first in 3 categories, so that's nice. We're not nearly there though. We still, especially cultural victory, we're not doing well. We are not focusing on culture at all, so there is a chance someone will achieve a cultural victory before we can achieve our victory. Ideally, I'd like to go for the Son of Heaven victory. Stacks without orders, that's okay. Wow, and many more conflicts all over the map, especially between Shang and Xiongyu. Shang said he killed the Xiongyu leader, and that should cause some unrest, but whether that is truly the case remains to be seen. And meanwhile, Mongshu is on fire. You can see all these farms being looted, and the city itself is being besieged, though it seems to be holding out. And more battles are being fought all over. Battle of Wangshu, fighting Chu we are, and here we are fighting near Equalar Mortar to gain our position to go on the attack. But Chu is sending in a large stack of reinforcements, and doing this live while streaming causes some frame drops, so I'm sorry for that, and I'm going to speed it up as well. We should be able to take them on, I'd like to think. I think our armies are fairly strong. But we might not have chosen the best battle plans, and that's something I should have been more cautious of. I did not anticipate such a big stack joining the fray. I may need to recruit some reinforcements. Though it did seem we won, we're just not in a position to attack the city right now, considering their stack is also on the move. Mainly light spearmen though. And we build our quay. Why did we build our quay? Did we order them to build a quay? For river transports, most likely. I'm not sure I'm happy with that. Costs a lot of money. And they put up a big force here as well. We're going to continue on. Let's see if we can recruit some more units here. Especially, we should get the nobles up. We're going to take the nobles out of the city. I'm going to send them north. And we got another stack incoming. And I'm going to offer Beekman some money, because Beekman just lost the city. And there's a big enemy stack there. And I don't want Beekman to fall. In exchange, no, there's nothing to be done in exchange, really. You got the armor finished here, so that's nice. Our troops will be better armored. And this is not one of them, unfortunately. Alright, we should continue to grow Miley. Let's do that later. Let's keep on farming. And Wool should be chopping down some trees so they can continue to farm. And Best Mortar is truly Best Mortar, but it should continue to grow. Yes, with the armory complete, will the units trained from now on only have better armor, or can manually upgrade? No, you cannot manually upgrade them at this point. You would have to disband them and re-recruit them. Though, considering this is a one-turn thing, it doesn't make that big of a difference. Let's see, if we propose peace, and they will agree to become our vassals, and we will pay them handsomely. 2,000. And we will give them a regular payment as well. And they will only do it if we give them the settlement Yanling, and they want a lot more money, so we're not going to do that. We're going to continue to bleed them to dry. Can you build weaponsmith for better weapons as well? Yes, you can. That will basically, having that will improve the chance to kill on your impact. I'm really surprised by Chu's perseverance. They recruited so many armies. I thought they would have suffered more damage and more problems as a result of the wars against Han. Actually, we got some unrest issues here, 50%, so let's recruit some nobles. There we go. Bowyers for better archers. Well, you can build a bowyer in order to recruit archers, and later on upgrade them for the crossbowmen and the what do you call them, chokunu, and later on the firearms. So they're like tiered buildings many times. So it starts with the bowyer, and then you upgrade that, and that will give you access to better units. Let's see how much longer. We will probably be continuing for about 15 minutes. Right, more combat being fought, especially here. We got a fairly big battle, and again I forgot to change my battle plans. That might cost me. Still, I'd like to think I have the upper hand on the field. Whether it's enough to actually take the city afterward is a different matter. We're also fighting with Chu here, where they're trying to break out. We're chasing them out here. And we are chasing them from the field. And we are breaking their, firing at their walls. Taking out their position to counterattack. But one of the units has slipped past and will cause some issues here. That's unfortunate. A small group of cavalrymen raiding our countryside. And we need to take care of that. We're waiting for the other units and the other troops in the meantime, or other players. What about cavalry? Yes, so you need to research it first, because we start so early in game that cavalry doesn't come natural. I haven't teched it yet. The Chu obviously have, and you can pass edicts to give cavalry to your noblemen. And they work according to the same principle. You build your stables and you upgrade that slowly to incorporate horse archers, for example, or better troops. And there's chariots as well. They can be fairly convenient to have too. They should not be underestimated. Alright, let's start our assault, see how much damage we can actually do here, while the rest of our troops march on. And here at Equal Mordor, we are suffering... Oh, ouch, this is a problem. We are suffering a potential rebellion. This is not good at all. I had not taken this into account. This could completely change things. A rebellion here would be disastrous, since most of our troops here are peasants. Lands pillaged. News of war. The kin declared war on the white die. So the rebellion here, this is a major issue. Do we have an edict that might lower these, lower the unrest? Noble unrest. Not really. Patronize the arts increases culture because of noble unrest. That might help a little bit, but perhaps not enough. And we're not going for the culture victory. I'm gonna hope out for one more turn and see what's the root of the unrest here. Dissatisfaction. A lot has to do with the local factors and the food shortage. So because of the farms being pillaged. So that is a problem. Actually, I might be able to recruit some civilians here. Some colonists. I'm going to send them north. And the idea of the colonists is that, you know, they take away some food demand from the city. Hitting and turn again. Alright, let's speed up again. We got several conflicts going on. We're starting the siege right here. But there's also the side conflict, so we're fighting 3 different battles against you at the moment. Kind of insane if you think about it. Hopefully we can just do enough damage to them to make them want to, well, be friends again. Except this time under our command. Doesn't seem to be going that well though. Units are split off in the field but also in the siege itself. Shah accepted our request. Let's see, so we got the mathematics complete, so we can increase our troops there. We should go for the acupuncture, I think, because it allows us to heal more casualties after combat. We quite need that. Let's see if we can entice Chu into a more favorable agreement. And they accepted, so it costs us a lot of money. But in the long run, it will mean that our borders here will be secure and that we will be safe. And that means that our armies can go somewhere else. And our next target is going to be Ba. I want Blitz, Baal, and Zeta and take control of these. And I need to upgrade Gusu, but there's no money for that for the coming times. But he got the city back, it looks like it. Alright, let's hit and turn. Right, we're just waiting for the final guys right here to end their turn. Tyburn, who's in a pretty difficult spot, but seems to be attacking. Right, we hit end turn. We made the treaty with the Chu, so we stopped fighting there. You can see we also built a a road leading up. So if we want to attack north, we have a better way in, basically. We have not uncovered the full map yet. We know a lot, but we don't know nearly everything. Even some of the Shang cities are known to us. So we got news of war, news of war, news of fire, but most importantly, when we look at diplomacy, we have our first vassal here, and that means that we are closer towards our victory, especially the Son of Heaven victory, 44%. So we're gonna reposition our armies again away from Chu. Gonna leave a little stack there. These poor armies, they marched so far only to be returned. They mustn't be happy. Perhaps I should just disband a couple. I think that would be better for my cash flow. There we go. Just as these, we can disband these. I recruit them somewhere else. You guys return here. We're going to set up a little bit of a force right here to take Blitz and then Embal. And we're going to make another offer with Han. So the agreement is that we are gonna attack Ba. We're gonna get a defensive alliance, and they're gonna recognize me as the Emperor. And they are also gonna attack Ba. Let's put this out of the... There we go. Just need a fair bit of archers there. To help break the walls. Alright, that should be it for now, I guess. I think people are waiting for me as well. One more turn. Yes, one final turn. I'm gonna offer some money. No, I'm not gonna do that. Alright, so let this be the final turn then. I'm gonna hit end turn. All right. Alright guys, thanks to you as well, all those watching. Thank you for your contributions in the chat. We'll be back probably next week with this or another stream. And we hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.